You are now listening to Necro High Sodium Content.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's going on, good people? Welcome to another edition of High Sodium Content. So high, so salty. Now, in tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about that little, I guess you could say, episode of The Breakfast Club with Byron Donalds and Angela Rye. It was pretty interesting. And Byron Donalds said some interesting things. I don't agree with everything that he says, but in part, you know, a lot of things that he talks about make sense. You know, most level-headed, logical people, you know, would make that assertion. You know, we're going to see how unhinged, let's say, Angela Rye was getting as, you know, Representative Byron Donalds was just, you know, doing his thing, answering the questions. Unlike some people.
Gotcha, bitch.
But you know, let's check out a couple of highlights.
Weaken anti-discrimination laws, reduce the enforcement powers of the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, which, by the way, Clarence Thomas used to work there, reduce Medicaid funding, eliminate programs aimed at addressing health disparities, includes measures to increase policing and incarceration, reduce funding for community-based alternatives, and eliminate initiatives aimed at addressing systemic racism in the justice system. As a Black man, how are you not concerned with the agenda that is proposed by Project 2025?
To be blunt, I'm not concerned about it.
Now, before he even answers that, how many times are they going to keep talking about this Project 2025? How many times are they going to keep talking about that? How many times is this Project 2025 going to be the boogeyman in this scenario? I'm curious. I have to know. I have to know. I don't get it. Because not only has Trump not endorsed any of it, the founder of it is endorsing Kamala Harris.
What?
Like, I mean, it's like, what is going on? The gaslighting is it's insane. But let's continue.
Because nobody in the Trump campaign or Donald Trump himself is even talking about it. To be blunt with you, Angela, none of us have even read it.
Got him.
So here's the problem, right? I get it.
So none of us is, you're saying that the 25 of the 30 chapters that were written by his former staff and at least 140 people who worked for.
And it's not just 2025. They come out every like few election cycles, you know, with their crazy, preposterous, I guess like ideologies that they want, you know, for the country, you know, the Heritage Foundation. But rarely is it implemented anywhere. I mean, it's so extreme. You know, anybody would agree that it's, you know, it's extreme, but you know, they're not, the Republicans aren't pushing that.
Donald Trump haven't touched it, or are you now distancing yourself from those people? I'm happy to name names, including Stephen Miller, who I know you're very familiar with, was a very senior official in the Trump administration. And I know that we're clear about the fact that you guys are not naming it anymore because it's kind of become the boogeyman of this campaign, right?
I think I might have to start saying fuck Project 2025, to be honest with you. I mean, really like distance yourself.
That's what Donald Trump has done. He's distanced himself every single time. Every time he's asked about it, he goes, I have nothing to do with it. I don't even know.
But Donald Trump isn't here today, Byron.
I know. Hold on now. Let me.
Do you fuck with it? You like it?
I haven't read it. So this is the thing, Charlamagne. I haven't
So I
even
just
read,
named what it does.
Angela, first of all, with all due respect, I like to read things for myself before.
That's smart.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all due respect to you, but I want to read everything for myself before I make a judgment. I will tell you that, like the Heritage Foundation, there are think tanks all through Washington. You have the Center for American Progress and all these other think tanks. They all do a bunch of policy prescriptions. They all do a bunch of programs and projects. I think the UN has something called Project 2030. That's a UN project that's going on right now. What
that
I
one's
do
scary.
know is that Heritage Foundation or any other policy group is not setting policy for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's setting policy for Donald Trump.
So are you going to distance yourself from the Heritage Foundation as well, Byron? Are you saying that?
Distance myself, Angela. I'm not a part of the Heritage Foundation.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm a United States.
But your
I'm a
voting
United
record
States
is
congressman.
96% in alignment with what they've prescribed as policy recommendations for this country. 96%.
If Kamala Harris's voting record is 96% of the time aligned with the Center for American Progress, does that mean she works at the Center for American Progress, Angela?
That's not the analogy that I made.
That is exactly the analogy you making. Come on now.
I have a question.
Sis, that's
maybe
exactly
if
the
you could hear
analogy,
and
the
not
analogy
be
you making
offensive,
right
what
now.
I said was, would you distance yourself from the Heritage Foundation? Would you distance yourself from the Project 2025? Would you condemn Project 2025, noting that it will have some horrible impacts on the people who look like you, the very folks who you said that you're working overtime to ensure they have access to this economy? This project would decimate that access and would decimate the Voting Rights Act of 65, which you're still not supporting pre-clearance for, 1964 Civil Rights Act, and the Fair Housing Act, all the things that you said that you want to decrease access to.
Angela, you got to read it first.
Angela, I just said it. I haven't read it. So there's not something I'm ascribing to or supporting in it. Nobody on the Trump campaign, to my knowledge, including President Trump, they have not read it. They're not subscribed to it. And let's be very clear, because you mentioned all the people that were in the Trump admin network over there were doing some of that work. There were people in the Obama admin that work at think tanks now. They're doing policy work. There were people at the Georgia. So this happens all the time. I think the issue, hold on, now let me finish now. There are people who work in presidential administrations on Capitol Hill. They go to think tanks. They write up white papers all the time. That does not mean that what they write up actually becomes law. And so that's the point I'm making. So for Vice President Harris's,
it's exactly that. None of these things have become law. That's when things become scary. When they become law, they vote on it. That's when you should become alarmed. But it's just another fear tactic.
Campaign to be talking so much about Project 2025, which Donald Trump isn't even a part of, has not subscribed to, has not said this is my plan, when you can go to his website and you see the policies he wants to support.
Which is in lockstep with Project 2025.
No, it is not, Angela. You need to stop now. Or you can read the Republican platform, which Donald Trump actually changed at our convention this year, which is the policy sets of our party and what we are ascribing to and what we want to do as a party. I think that's where voters need to go.
Trump has.
So if there's no distinction between Project 2025, the Republican.
She just can't drop this Project 2025. And some people get like that. I don't understand it. You know, they hear these things, in mainstream media. And, my thing, with mainstream news now is that it's just propaganda, like all the time. And they play in our faces like we can't see what's going on. So they prop up these fear tactics, Project 2025, be afraid, and it's nothing yet. It's nothing.
Platform and Donald Trump's campaign platform. How can you distance yourself from Project 2025?
I got a different question, because
Trump has disavowed Project 2025.
I'm just seeking an answer.
But he did praise the Heritage Foundation a lot for years.
Of course, we all have praised the Heritage Foundation, but that doesn't mean we agree with that work that Heritage did. But here's my question. What does Kamala Harris actually want to do? Because let's talk about her economic plans that she's coming. I'm going to go through a couple of them.
There we go. We went there. He went there. You went there because every single interview this woman has done, she has said the same exact rehearsed script over and over and over and over again with meaningless platitudes, just boring things that don't say anything about anything. I mean, there's numerous clips at this point. I mean, it's like, and like after you see that, because I'm an independent. I think we should all be independent voters and trying to pick the best possible person for the job. But when you see those interviews and these rallies that she does, and it's just empty. There's no substance to it at all. It's bare. And there's people that still like, yeah, she says so much. She hasn't said anything. And on top of that, she was the tie-breaking vote to a lot of these problems that we're dealing with right now. Horrible on the border, horrible on the economy. Everything is hyper expensive now. Crime is all over the place, and you still have people that or these these other mainstream media stations, they'll just show you these BS numbers like you're not experiencing this stuff right now. That's insane. There's no words for it. Completely outlandish. And they keep doing it, and they keep doing it, and they keep doing it. They keep doing it. And this is why mainstream media is losing their credibility. Because the gaslight, it's like, how much money do you need to just not tell the truth? Tell the truth. Be honest. Don't give me your opinion. Just tell me how things are. But they can't do that. They're bought and paid for. And to like most degrees, it's sickening. The sycophantic behavior, the obsequiousness. Do you not have eyes? Can you be honest with us? But they can't do it. Let's continue.
She says she wants to tax unrealized gains. I don't know if she really wants to do that anymore because Mark Cuban, who's supporting her, went on CNBC and said that it would destroy the stock market.
Answer Project 2025.
But hold on,
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I'm checking to see where Kamala Harris is in this conversation.
Because we have a presidential election in 38 days now, which is the thing that's coming forward. So we need to have this conversation. She wants to do price gouging or go after price gouging. Well, how are you going to do that? Because when you do that, what you're actually going to do is put downward pressure on prices in our country. Outrageous. When you do that artificially, what you create is scarcity of product. So what that means is you're going to have poor people in our country who are going to have less access to goods and services because rich people are going to get their goods and services no matter what. They have the access points. They're going to get them. So you're going to have less product for poor people in our country.
Yep.
She had a thing about she wants to do $25,000 for a new home, for first-time home buyers.
I think that's great.
Well, no, it's not, because what's going to happen is it's going to increase the cost of housing $25,000. Because if you know every first-time home buyer has $25,000 from the government in their back pocket, you as the seller, you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute. Every seller writ large is going to be like, you know what? Well, then I can increase my price to $25,000. It's going to have an upward trajectory shot on housing costs in our country, which is the thing we don't need in America. Those are three economic policies I know are not going to work.
That sounds like a hypothetical.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all remember 2007, 2008, or 2008, 2009. Y'all remember how bad that was. What's that saying? You can't write checks your ass can't cash.
Yeah, why would it increase that? If
Yeah, that
somebody,
sounds
if
like a
somebody
hype,
gets
like you-
25,000 from the government to purchase their phone,
Let's say
somebody...
let's say there's 3 million first-time home buyers in the United States of America. They all have an additional $25,000 of purchasing power. You do have a situation where every seller in the country is going to realize, oh shoot, is this a first-time home buyer? Well, I know you have an additional 25. When you provide that type of stimulus into an economy, what you end up doing is you increase prices in whatever that economy is. She says she wants to build 3 million new homes. How are you going to do that?
No,
Let me explain why.
Brother.
Environmental policy both at the federal and state level makes it much harder to build housing. Whether you believe in climate change or not, weatherizing, energy efficiency, all of those regulations
point.
for the entire economy writ large, it's not going to be good because the cost of housing is going to go up on everybody. That doesn't help people.
So with that said, you disagree with the stimulus checks too then?
At the time when stimulus checks were going through under COVID-19, the only reason I agreed with them is because the entire economy was shut down. So when you shut down the entire economy and nobody has an ability to go and earn money, then yeah, you got to step in the gap and do that. The only difference was the last one we did, that's the article I gave you on the American Rescue Plan. Even Larry Summers said the amount of stimulus they were going to put in was 5 times the amount of decreased economic input we were having in the country because of.
All right, let me pause it right there. I'm trying to find this one clip. Oh, okay. All right, found it. Here we go.
Country. And we have some people, quite frankly, that even I can't stand. But they're the vast, vast, vast minority of people in our country. Most people just want to live in harmony and peace. That's what they really want. I think the important thing to acknowledge today is what's going to help black people going forward. And what's going to help black people moving forward is economic policy.
Yep.
It's actually wide open energy policy so we can be energy dominant. It's, yes, securing our southern border because we have a situation right now where, yeah, there are more than 15 million illegal aliens in the country.
Probably more than
Where
that.
do they reside? Mostly
Probably
in
way more
sanctuary
than
cities
that.
like New York. Where are they at? Sanctuary states like Illinois, like California. What's happening in those cities? Hospital systems are overrun. Why are they overrun? Because you have people in the country illegally who don't have resources, so they're going into the emergency room. What are they taking up? They're taking resources from poor people in our country, whether they're black, whether they're Hispanic, whether they're white. That's wrong. What about education? We have a situation where in too many inner cities, kids are not reading at grade level, or they don't have math skills at grade level. How does that help them excel and achieve? I don't want to discount what Angela is saying. I don't. I acknowledge the issue of our nation, but we always are trying to strive to be the more perfect union. So in 2024, what are the economic policies? What are the national security policies? What are the border security policies that are gonna make our country thrive? So whether you black, Hispanic, or white, you could thrive.
Why?
And so I think it's
So
important.
then would you have to say that if it wasn't a racist country, whether you're black, white, or Hispanic, you could thrive?
No.
Are we thriving? Is our members in
Well,
your
I would argue
black
we're not. I
population
would argue we're not
thriving?
really thriving right now.
She's just doing that just for the sake of argument. She has no legs to stand on. There's nothing anybody could say good about what these people have done. Biden and Harris. It's indefensible.
This inflation, which by the way was brought to us by Kamala Harris, has really slowed down people from being able to excel.
By Kamala?
Yes.
Vice president.
Charlemagne.
It's still the president.
Charlemagne, listen, man. When Joe Biden wanted to do his American Rescue Plan, Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote in the United States Senate. She broke the tie that started this inflation that has hurt so many people in our country. Everybody listening to your show, it's not true?
First of all, it's
you sure you
true
want to go
that it's a
there?
tie-breaking vote.
You sure you want?
Just like what I was talking about earlier with the gaslighting. Now all those things he's mentioned throughout this this whole episode. The border, inflation, XYZ, everything that we are currently experiencing, all the negative effects we're experiencing. And she's saying that that's a lie. It's infuriating. You know, because you know you're not telling the truth. Big forehead self.
When
Want to
you
go there?
outside,
What you
Congressman,
pulling
when you
out?
go outside
You sure
in
you
your
want to go there?
district,
Okay, let's go there.
You had it
He got notes.
What I-
He got
what
notes,
I-
Angela Rye.
that's fine. I have notes
I'm
too.
gonna give it.
and
I'm
the
gonna give it to
biggest note I
Charlemagne.
have
I'm
today
gonna give it to
is
Charlemagne.
that on
I don't
every
even want to hold
question
it
I've asked,
because
he
because
didn't
because
answer.
Angela,
For
hold on now.
every
Go ahead.
for every infrastructure project in your community,
You can go to
should
third
go
page.
out
That's the
and
highlighted
thank
portion.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the Congress that voted for the American Rescue Plan.
Angela,
That's what should be happening.
Larry Summers.
He's not even paying her no mind because she's a clown. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing. She's the reason for all this. They both are. They're complicit. And the gaslighting, the last like 4 years, man, it's been incredible. Oh.
Wrote an op-ed back in 2021. Larry Summers was the Treasury Secretary for Bill Clinton. He was an economic advisor to Barack Obama. He said that the American Rescue Plan that Joe Biden wanted, that Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote in the United States Senate, would create a massive inflation that we have not seen in a generation. Well, guess what? Larry Summers was correct. You know who also was correct, Angela? I was, because I was in the Budget Committee when they brought the bill.
Got him!
He making that face like, yeah, he's right. Look at him. Yeah, this brother right. Whatever.
And I said in that committee, it's going to cause massive inflation. That's what happened. So the problem we have in our economy today is that prices have gone up massively. Wages adjusted for inflation is down. People's pocketbooks are hurting. But we have a presidential election in 40 days. So, and I'm gonna ask Envy this question. Envy, you're in the housing business as well. I know because I watch. I listen to the show.
Interviewed.
No, I'm just asking them a question. Chill, Angela. So I listen to the show. I know you do a lot of business in housing.
Mm-hmm.
Would you hire somebody that broke up stuff in one of your houses to fix the other houses?
No.
Exactly. She broke the economy.
Literally,
That's
do
not
this
literally.
morning, Byron.
Why are you not
now
going to
you
do
tell
this,
me
Angela?
Literally.
Because I'm bringing facts. And hold on now. So now I'm bringing facts, and you don't want to do it no more? Come on now, Angela. That's not right. I'm bringing facts.
So
I thought we were
back
going to
to
have
the
a
point, 'cause you wanted
fact-based
to bring up-
conversation.
You
I want
wanted
to have a
bring up
fact-based
votes.
conversation.
You wanted to bring up votes, and so let's talk about votes.
Go ahead.
Your move, creep.
You have a 96% voting record with Heritage
She
Action.
didn't
And for
want
those
to talk about it. She didn't want to talk about it. You can't talk about it, Angela. You can't. You have no leg to stand on. None. How much money are they paying these people? That's what I want to know. It's got to be a grip. It's probably some of that sweet Ukraine money or migrant money. Because, I mean, come on now. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. All right, y'all. With that being said, I'm going to end it here. Y'all let me know. But yeah, she had no leg to stand on. Couldn't, soon as Byron Donalds started mentioning those details, gotta go. Shameful. Like Shao Kahn should come out. You suck. It's ridiculous. But listen, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Don't forget to check out sodiumsyndicate.com. Get all your cool hoodies, t-shirts, mugs. Very soon we will have shower curtains again. And as always, stay salty. Peace.
Honestly, I think we're led by stupid people.
Go to school and get a good education. Stop all that gang, man. You not from the hood.